Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the crypto realm. All right, so we're going to talk about Grayscale Bitcoin Trust discount. Brazil CBDCs to launch in 2024. Like, oh my God, we need to stop this CBDC madness because if they get a hold of that into every country, we are so screwed. And CFTC suing Sam Bankman-Fried. All right, let's get into it. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust discount reaches record 50%. The shares have not traded at a premium to Bitcoin since last March. Damn. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust (GBTC) shares hit a record high discount rate relative to the price of Bitcoin, pushing past 50% for the first time after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission reiterated its reasons for denying an application to convert the world's largest Bitcoin fund into an exchange-traded fund. Yeah, same old story, right? The United States, pretty bad. Crypto analysts have said that the discount would likely close if the conversation went through, since the redemption process available for ETF market makers would likely cause the shares to trade back toward the price of the underlying Bitcoin. Yeah, of course. In the past couple of hours, the discount has since pulled back slightly to around 48%. Oh, GBTC, which is managed by Grayscale Investments, was designed as a way to let investors in traditional markets gain exposure to Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency. The fund currently has about 10.7 billion of assets under management, a figure that's down 65% over the past 12 months, thanks largely to this year's steep decline in crypto prices. The fund is trading at a discount partly because investors, while free to sell GBTC shares in the market, have no way to redeem their holdings in exchange for the Bitcoin in the trust. Yeah, because you're just buying like a product. You're just buying something that's the price of Bitcoin. You're not buying something that is Bitcoin. And in the meantime, they're being charged a 2% fee. Wow. So centralized figures, like I've always said, screw Grayscale. Screw them. Screw Binance. Screw FTX. Screw the SEC. Take your money out of the stock market, take it out of these institutions, put it into Bitcoin, altcoins, in your own wallets, and these guys won't even matter to us no more. They'll come to us. Negative sentiment surrounding the trust has swelled over the last few weeks as fears surfaced that crypto trading firm Genesis Global Trading, which is owned by Grayscale's parent company, Digital Currency Group, might file for bankruptcy. Oh man, I hope so. It's going to be rough, but you know what? Screw these centralized entities. We have to go DeFi all the way. Grayscale says it's operating as business as usual, but analysts and Twitter posters have suggested that any financial ramifications for DCG might somehow, at some point, affect GBTC. CoinDesk is an independent subsidiary of DCG. Oh, I didn't know that. Pablo Jodar, a crypto analyst at Gen2, a financial service provider, said that some investors do not trust the information that Grayscale discloses about the quantity of Bitcoin that they're holding, which contributes to selling pressure. Wow, yeah, you got to be transparent. He also said that a recent spat of deposit withdrawals from the big crypto exchange Binance may have dampened market sentiment. The market is not trusting intermediaries anymore, and that is why you see investors moving money out of exchanges and financial instruments like GBTC, he added. Get it out of there. Grayscale is currently being sued by hedge fund Furtree to obtain details about GBTC in order to investigate potential mismanagement and conflicts of interest. Whoa. The firm said it wants Grayscale to resume redemptions and cut its 2% fees for the trust. Wow. So yeah, Grayscale, wow. So if you want to buy fake Bitcoin, you know where to go, but not financial advice. Screw these like centralized entities. And let's get into something that's even worse. Very scary. Brazil's central bank plans to launch a CBDC in 2024. Hey, you guys down there need to stop that, man. You need to get to your government quick. You need to start buying Bitcoin at crazy amounts, put it into your wallet, and get away from these centralized institutions. The central bank sees a digital currency as a way of increasing participation in the financial system. And for all you newbies, digital currency is not crypto. It's centralized. In Canada, when they had the protests, they shut down bank accounts. Like, if you had cash, you could probably survive. But imagine if you didn't have cash, not allowed to have cash, only digital cash, like they're doing in a country in Africa, which I still can't remember the name of. I think it might be Nigeria, but I could be completely wrong about that. Where you can only take out like $15 a day in cash, so much a week, and the rest has to be spent in the digital currency system of the bank. Unreal, right? Crazy. All right. The Central Bank of Brazil plans to introduce a central bank digital currency, CBDC, by 2024. The bank's president, Robert Campos Neto, said at a conference hosted by Brazilian news site Potter 360 on Tuesday. The bank will conduct a pilot program working with some financial institutions before starting wider use of the CBDC, a digital currency issued by a central bank, Campos Neto said. If you want to look at all the problems in the world, it's all by central banks. Every depression, recession was caused by central banks. If they want control of your industry or country, they'll just create a recession and then they'll just come in after and sweep up all your assets. That's how they do business. Take your money out of banks, put it into Bitcoin in your own wallet. These people, gone. I think that this digitalized paid and integrated system with inclusion will help a lot in the development and inclusion of people in the financial world. Just use crypto. Don't use digital CBDCs because they'll cut you off, man. In March, the country selected 9 partners to. Okay, think of world use. If you're not agreeing with the WEF, if you're not agreeing with these major institutions that got put in power to judge over us about your carbon footprint, they're going to be telling you what you can and cannot do, right? What you have access to. Because they imagine that you're trying to succeed in a country and you can't make any business decisions outside of what somebody else tells you need to do because they can just shut down your bank accounts, take all your money. That's run through like the big central bank, centralized entities. You want something done, you want to do something, the bank will just shut your country down. Say, no, sorry, you're done. We don't agree with that. Because they did it with, where was it? El Salvador. Yeah. What was it? Oh, what is that other freaking thing called? The World Monetary something? I don't know. They were going to help out El Salvador. As soon as El Salvador went pro Bitcoin, this monetary whatever that's supposed to help countries all of a sudden backed out and said, oh, we're not helping you anymore. Because they don't want anybody to be dependent. The mission is for them to come in and take control. The International Monetary Fund. They will come in and take control. That's what they want. They want your assets. Once they get a central bank in there and they get like contracts in place, you're done. They're going to start collapsing your ecosystem. And then the next thing you know, they own it all. In March, the country selected, hold on, did I read all that? Okay, yeah. In March, the country selected 9 partners to help it develop a digital currency. When the CBDC is issued, Brazil would join the Bahamas, Nigeria, Eastern Caribbean, and Jamaica as nations that have already issued their own CBDCs. Dozens of countries are exploring the technology, and some have become only more determined to start using one as a risk-free alternative to crypto after the collapse of crypto exchange FTX roiled the industry. No, man, greed roiled the industry. Human nature roiled the industry. All these banks here, check every year, they get fined hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, all the time, banks, all the time for frauding their customers. They're no better. Remember that. Greater inclusion, lower cost, intermediation, competition with reduced barriers to entry, efficiency and risk control, monetization of data, complete tokenization of financial assets and contracts, Campos Neto said. This is what we see in this digital economy in Brazil. Yeah, you're going to see it completely centralized. And if you disagree with some kind of government rule or international ideology, you're screwed. CFTC suing Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, and Alameda for violating commodities laws, alongside charges from the Southern District of New York's attorney and the SEC. The CFTC is suing the FTX founder for additional violations. Yeah, so this guy's done. The U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission today announced a lawsuit against crypto exchange FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried over alleged violations of federal commodities laws. Yep. Other defendants listed in the complaint are FTX and its affiliated company, Alameda Research. Oh, Caroline. The U.S. derivatives regulator, okay, sorry, I'll do that again. The U.S. derivatives regulator alleges Bankman-Fried and other FTX executives took hundreds of millions of dollars in loans from Alameda, using the funds to buy real estate and make donations to politicians. Mm. At Bankman-Fried's direction, FTX executives created features in the underlying code for FTX that allowed Alameda to maintain an essentially unlimited line of credit on FTX, reads the complaint filed Tuesday in Manhattan federal court. Damn, just printing money out of thin air. Who do they think they are? The Federal Reserve? The CFTC also alleges that FTX executives created other exceptions to FTX's standard processes that allowed Alameda to have an unfair advantage when transacting on the platform, including quicker execution times and exemption from the platform's distinctive auto liquidation risk management process. Wow, that helps. The 30-year-old Bankman-Fried was arrested Monday at his home in the Bahamas, where FTX was headquartered, ahead of a possible legal fight over whether he would be extradited to the U.S. He's going to be turned over. I think the Bahamas and the States have an agreement of that kind of thing, and he's going to be shipped over to the States, and that's going to be it for him. All right, so any comments, questions, likes, subs, go ahead. Thank you very much. Play hard, trade smart.